Hi, Tamara. My name is Arisha Smalls, and I chose um, to respond to your post because I felt like we had a lot of things in common. Um, so let me, I guess, start off by telling you what I wrote in my discussion board and what I found similar um, when I read yours. So my initial post, in my initial post, I was talking about how their gifted kids struggle with living up to such high expectations that are placed on them either by teachers, by their parents, peers, or even themselves. Sometimes they hold themselves to a high standard. Um, and in undergrad, we learned about students who fit into the avoidance of failure box. And I have to be honest, I never really thought about gifted students falling into an avoidance of failure, but I mean, I kind of get it. Uh, because I can think back on times in my life where I was afraid to try, and so I just didn't because it was easier for me to say, "Oh, I didn't do it," whatever, versus I tried and I failed. Um, but anyway, gifted students sometimes choose not to do the assignment or not to turn it on time because they're unpleased with the work that they've done. So they rather um, instead of get a low grade on that assignment and failed it, like actually tried and failed, they rather just say, "And I didn't do it." Which I guess to them they feel like that's the easiest way out. Um, I think that we don't think about how gifted students interpret feedback. I think it's important for us to remember that gifted students are just that, they are students. And we have to be mindful of what we say and how we say it because a lot of times, teachers, adults, when they know a child is gifted, they feel like, oh, their thinking is way up here. They feel like emotionally they're advanced too, and they don't always go hand in hand. Um, In your discussion post, Tamara, you were talking about you feel like, or you have felt like, gifted students had a clear direction because they seem to like be on top of things all the time. And honestly, I felt like that too. Um, and I did take away some things from the reading, just like you. But we do feel like that they have a clearer direction because they're good at schoolwork, and we feel like, oh, you must know what you want to be because academically you are succeeding. But I think that when you're good at something, um, that doesn't always necessarily mean that's what you want to spend the rest of your life doing. Um, and if they're gifted in more than one thing, um, then they have more than one option. And we all know the more options you have, the more difficult it is to make a decision. Um, and I think about myself like I teach reading, and I love to teach reading, but I also have hobbies on the side. Well, gifted students are sometimes so involved in academics that they hadn't had an opportunity um, to try new things or hobbies on the side, and maybe part of them wants to do that, and I feel like that also kind of fogs um, their compass too. Like they're not exactly sure what they want to do or where they want to go. I don't think that you should stop asking them what they want to do. I think maybe if we pose the question differently or in our classrooms let them try a variety of things, then maybe we can help them get that clear direction that you were talking about. Um, but just stop asking them. I feel like that might come across as we're not that interested or we don't care um, about their future or where they're going. And I hope you don't take that the wrong way as constructive criticism, not throwing shots at you or anything like that. Um, but as far as that clear direction, I feel like it's our responsibility to help them find that and be that person that they go to to get their balance. And and the person they come to feel comfortable, to try new things, I know that I like being that person for my students. I always tell my colleagues that I want to give my students that middle school experience, and whatever that means. Like, if I feel like they've never taken a certain trip, or they never done a certain activity in class, or never had, um, I don't know, whatever experience opportunity comes to mind, I feel like they will only get with me, that no other teacher could do it like I'm gonna do it for them. Like, I want to be that for them. I enjoy being that for my students, and I think um, all of those things help them find a clear direction.